Welcome back to Bendin Wrenches, everyone. On today's agenda, a good buddy of mine called me and he had asked, he's like, you know, Brian, you're an LS guy. I picked up a Seirra and she's got the infamous lifter tick. So we're about to dive in and find out. There was a previous person that's been in here and it ran better before. So we're gonna find out and hopefully see what's going on, what they possibly did wrong. Here to bring you guys along with me. Basically, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna pull the intake manifold, the cylinder heads off, all that fun stuff. Sad part is with these, just to get to a lifter, you gotta remove the cylinder head. So let's get to it. So we got down to the rockers on the driver's side. I wanted to kind of show you guys an example of a way of checking without completely tearing it down if you had one that's failed. On these engines, cylinders 1, 4, 6, and 7, so 2 on each bank, have the ability to do that. So what you run into, I'll have someone crank the engine over here, and you can kind of see what's going on. So you see cylinder number 1 aren't even working at that point, and the rest were. So right there, folks, that is probably a misinstalled lifter. It's very difficult to put them in backwards, but I've seen it done before. So what we're running into now is pretty much we got to tear the head off like we figured, get to what they did, and see what the problem is. So we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, we're about to pull the intake manifold off. One of the things, or ways I should say, to identify if your motor has the displacement on demand or active fuel management is when you pull the intake off, or if you're at the junkyard or however, if you look at the valley cover, you're gonna see it's got a whole bunch of passages for oil. It's GM's way of directing oil pressure to the AFM lifters. So when we get this out of our way, you'll have a little better look at her. Our next step is going to be to, at this point, pull the cylinder heads. We're almost there. Probably another few moments here. So let's get back to it. Well, guys, that's a good sign. You can obviously, right here, we can see this bolt is cross-threaded already, so that's great. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to break. There's already a mismatched one there. The heat shields are gone. Yeah, this is a good one. So there's something else you may notice. On the driver's side, the left bank, the rocker arms are a lot darker than over on this side here. You can see they're kind of new and shiny looking. That's our PCV system at its best. So that's what you got to look forward to. But yeah, we're about to get these exhaust manifolds off. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let them drop down on both sides, just so we don't have to go underneath as much. Done this in the past. What'll happen is basically the crossover will drop down out of the way, allowing us to get to the head bolts. Because we're trying to just get down to it quick. You can see the new head bolt, so you definitely can see that somebody obviously has been in here recently. So our cross-threaded bolt is coming out. We may have to run a tap in the hole to repair that. So good stuff, good stuff. I really want you guys to see this because I am curious to see. Yeah, if you can see that, the threads are looking mighty fine. So I'm sure the head's looking great too. So that's always a good sign that the I can do it cheaper guy helped you out. Next step, we're gonna go in here and we are gonna pull all the rockers off. What's nice about the LS is they got a pedestal they're on. It's kind of a rail type, and we can remove all together. Something you guys always want to check on these, this is 8mm on these guys here, is to check the underside where the push rod meets. I'll see if we have a bad one to show you. It'll almost look like a cat eye. It'll be like a brushed nickel look. A lot of people they can tend to overlook that. We're gonna see if we can find one to show you an example. Okay, so what you'll see here is how the whole rail assembly comes off as one. And actually, I found a push rod already, a couple of them I want to show you in just a moment here. But you can see that was a heck of a design by them guys. But look at all them fancy new head bolts and new spark plugs. And I just can't wait to see where the issue is. Let's see if they put the rockers and push rods in the same hole here. Nope, they already did not. So, not that it matters with this stuff, guys. These are roller engines. Configuration really doesn't matter. But if you look, you can kind of see that it looks almost like a cat eye. But if you were to look at a good one, it's more just got a nice shine to her. The push rods are a lot more distinctive. You get into here, almost look like a brushed nickel doorknob almost, you know. So, yeah. Let's get these out of here. Oh, I can tell you there's a problem already, folks. I can't pull this one out. I feel like that's a good one. That's gonna be good. We may have to pull that one with the head. Oh, look at that guy. Pretty excessive amount of wear. Ooh, we got another stuck one. What do these guys do? Okay, guys, I wanted to kind of show you the push rod and lifter deal. You can kind of see some excessive wear. For an example, like we were talking, they got like a brushed nickel look. Kind of hard to see, but it's kind of real dull, almost like a cat eye. And then you get into a known good one, and it's kind of hard to see, but well, that's a bad one too. Bad example. But you can see on this end, nice and shiny, round. The rockers tend to wear as well and have that kind of goofy look. So it's lack of oiling, lack of oil changes, I'm sure lack of maintenance. But what got me is the fact that you can't pull this push rod out. And neither can you pull this one. So, why is that? There's nothing that holds these in. They sit in a little cup on a lifter. So, let's see if we can pull one out. If not, we are pulling it with the head. Oh, we got it. We got it, guys. Let's see. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Oh, you can see the marring on it. What happened here? Okay. Let's see if we can get number 7 out back there. And again, 1, 4, 6, and 7 are your AFM lifters. So let's see if we can get this guy out too. Oh, we got it. We got it. Oh man, this thing is bad. Okay. Well, in just another moment, we'll have this head off here, and we'll get to see these lifters. Okay, we got all our head bolts out. This is always the messy part. It just never seems like you can do this without getting, 4 gallons of antifreeze on your shop floor. But we will definitely make a valid attempt at not making that big of a mess. Okay, a couple head bolts left. We get to find out what the deal is. So, let's pull the head off. There's all that antifreeze we talked about. Oh, look at the lifters. I can see them already. They're not supposed to be up that high. They are not supposed to be sticking up past, by any means, past the, I can't even believe it. Look at that. They're just in pieces. I really hope that we can catch them all before they go down inside. Better get the magnet out. Wow, I have not seen that before. Look at that brand new head gasket. This thing is super Chineseium. Look at this. One of them premium $80 eBay gasket sets. I bet probably where the lifters came from too. So, oh, and they changed them all. Generally, your best bet is to leave the OEM non-AFM lifters in there. You know, there's people that'll argue that, some of the keyboard warriors, but it's been working for 165,000. We probably should leave it in because all this late model stuff and this aftermarket is right here. Bring it a little closer so you guys can see what I see. The lifters are not supposed to look like that. But like we said earlier, 1 and 7 are problem childs, but I have never seen them where they literally are sticking to the top there. That just blows my mind. I can't wait to see what the other side beholds. That's wild, guys. We got our magnet here. We're gonna go ahead and try retrieving some of these parts before they go inside. The second we go to pull one of these trays off, I'm sure the lifters are gonna come apart with it. Yeah, look at this stuff, guys. Look at that. That is wild. See, there's your little cup that your push rod sits in. Well, it ain't supposed to be here, let me tell you that. Oh man, they are just completely trashed. I really hope it didn't beat up the cam, guys. That's when it gets costly. Look at that, there's your spring. And you wonder why this was a good idea, GM. All that to save some fuel, but how well does that work in this situation here? Yeah, so that's 4 AFM lifters on this side, and they're all broke. All 4. All 4. We just don't want nothing falling down inside. See, that's... Yep, see, there's more parts. So we're going to finish pulling these trays. These are the lifter trays right here. That is what keeps them from spinning. You know, way back when in the small block Chevy days. Yeah, this is kind of a small block Chevy, but you know. However, they at least had a little bit better design than these little hunks of shit of plastic here. So let's a couple 10 millimeters, and we will have them off in just a hot second. And then we can see what comes up out of there. You know, all this because they put, you know, really, really cheap parts in there. At this point, if they would have just bought some AC Delco lifters or even a good quality, you know, we could have got away with this. But right now, not so good. So here is what's left of a lifter. So they're not supposed to be turned in there. And this one here is, I guess we have one good one. Look at that, we have one good one, huh? You know, folks, if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes it's easier just to not do it. But the biggest thing is we're really hoping the cam is not smoked. This thing didn't run long like this. They put it together, it popped and banged a couple times, and the lifter exploded. So, yeah. We'll pull this back one off real fast and see how bad that looks too, because it's not looking so hot so far. And they're special bolts too. They got a nice shoulder on them, and they are meant to kind of fit in the tray so you can't over torque it. That's the biggest thing about those. So they are very unique, so you don't want to mix them up. So let's pull out this back one here. Hopefully we can get all the pieces out of here with it. Well, nothing came out. So I think we should be able to pull them lifters out, though. I see them. They're pretty accessible. And we'll take a look here and see what happened back here. Yeah, the lifter just at that point pretty much exploded. So I think we got all the pieces out. We're gonna go ahead and look in there a little closer in just a moment here. But yeah, that's pretty much teardown 101 on a AFM 5.3. So this was one of the non-AFM lifters they put in there. You can see the clip is was that close. I mean, look at this stuff, guys. This is quality right here. I mean, they're all coming apart. I mean, you can see where the clip is sitting. I mean, they're on the verge of just exploding. So sometimes spend the money, you know? You know, I was pulling push rods out, and I found something you guys might like to see. Look at this guy. That is not supposed to be like that. And I found another. I think somebody's got the old Peronis, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, we got, now that one's straight. That one's straight. We figured they would be. They're the non-AFM ones, but oh boy, I can't wait to see. I'm betting we got bent valves. This should be fun. Same thing on this side. You can see the lifters are not where they're supposed to be. Fun fact, this bolt here broke off. That's great. They had it cross-threaded or some sort of something anyways, you know, cross-threaded, torque to spec. You know, tight is tight. So let's get this head gasket out of the way. So we already had the bent push rods. We have the lifters that are hanging out. But I seen something else you guys might think is pretty entertaining. So let me grab a light real fast here. And you can see that the spark plug, you know, I think they feel like they had it threaded in all the way. You know, you can see how far that one is. Right? Wrong. Right? Wrong. There you go, guys. We'll see you when we start putting her back together.